To pray, there's no angels where I go. Only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. Now, whenever we last left off with this series, Midoriya, he had just met a famous ghoul, one of wealth and power. In fact, she was the second one he met, and she did give him a job offer, one he could not refuse. Now, with that being said, Midoriya picked up the phone and continued the rest of his shift. And he did wait, as he is sitting at home, thinking about what is going to happen next. And wondering. He's going to be leaving Deku, meaning he won't be able to train with his boss anymore, Mr. Yoshimura. And, well, explaining it to his mom is going to be a bit difficult. They've always stayed on the outskirts of the ghoul lifestyle. They've delved their toes into it. And these two are the only other ghouls Midoriya has ever met, besides Mr. Yoshimura, and a few of the other people around in Deku, though he doesn't really speak to them very much. Since, well, they're older than him and they all got weirder lives. They're either in college or further along into the hero studies. He thinks one of them are, well, the third year, but he's not too sure. Then again, they might just be going to a regular high school. He doesn't really talk to them very much. Now, with that being said, it has been 5 months since Midoriya grabbed the phone. In this amount of time, he's discovered quite a bit. The job that he works is a bit more complicated. However, it's very, very high paying. During the day, he acts as a butler and somewhat of a personal bodyguard to Miss Yaoyorozu. However, that is just it. This is seen as a cover. In fact, the main reason why he comes along with her is because she does want to keep him close. A very useful weapon. A very strong one, too. As he's also in charge of taking care of the ghoul problem. Feeding the ones in Inteku and then the ones that the manor provides. Meaning that the reports of one ghoul have been getting a lot more active. And I believe that I can cover, let's see, the first 2 months in this episode. Now, let us begin. Midoriya arrives at the Momo Yaoyorozu residence, being let in and actually seeing what's going on. A lot of people do stare at him and wonder, what makes him so special? That is the one they've heard about, right? Yes, it is. Now shut up, he might hear you. He's a ghoul too, remember? Right. Midoriya does walk through the hall, hearing everyone talking, and meeting with Mr. Yaoyorozu, who then goes on stating that his daughter, she was the one who said that you could help us. So, I'm guessing that you have connections with Inteku. Yes, sir, I work there. And I did have some questions. Ah, yes, young man, but I believe that you need to answer my questions first. Then I'll answer yours. You see, my daughter, she is very, well, I can't really say fragile. She's very different. In fact, if you give her time, she might dig her claws into you, She can be very, very strategic and manipulative. In fact, it's something that she's practiced for quite a long time. She's someone you don't really want to mess with, since not only are you fighting her on the physical level, you might be fighting her on the psychological one as well. She has a way of doing that. Ah, I believe I understand. But again, I don't really have a choice to say no in the matter. So, what can I do to begin, at least? Yes, well, talk to a man in the kitchen. I believe that he can get you set up with the proper, tools to make the coffee. I heard that Deku has a special blend, and I would actually like to try some for myself. Along with that, I do believe that you should at least get my daughter a cup. Yes, sir. Good. Now be on your way. As Midoriya does leave, preparing the coffee and arriving, giving the cup to Miss Yaoyorozu, and then walking out. Walking throughout the manor as he does try and find Momo. And, well, he finds her in the study, as she's basically sitting directly in front of a table. She could be sitting on the couch behind her, but she's not doing that. She's just sitting down on the floor cross-legged, and reading through quite a lot of these books. Some of the ones around her are open, and others are closed. There are a few thrown across the room. That being something Midoriya notices, as Momo tosses a book directly at him. Midoriya bringing his hand up and catching it, almost smacking it away from himself, but, well, yeah, he didn't want to do that. As he does tell her that he brought her coffee, and the two would begin to chat. Exactly the real reason he was hired, and why. She wants to see his abilities and test them out, along with actually have someone to train herself against. And a half ghoul is someone very strong. In fact, I believe that you might be like the One-Eyed King. That is how your power works, right? You have certain ghoul abilities, or, well, just stronger ones. No, actually, that's not how it works at all. I'm a ghoul, plain and simple. Besides, I've always been one. I was born this way. Oh, really? It is quite interesting, but I'm not sure what you mean by born. Were you something put out of a test tube or by a doctor? I do believe that it's possible, though. I wonder what type of freak accident led to you being born. In fact, most people who try and make babies with a ghoul, they die instantly, or they die over time. In fact, what was your mother, human? No, my mother was a ghoul. My father was the human. That being what Midoriya says. Momo actually smirking a bit, and then asking exactly what happened to his father. If his father was the human, then life could be a bit more simple. Yet your mother is always working that job. She goes there every day between 8:30 to roughly around 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So you've been spying on us. Oh no, just gathering information. I want to learn more. In fact, that's what I seek. It's the one thing I'm always curious about. Things I don't know. So, something my mother always said was quite interesting about me. As she picks up the cup and begins to sip. As she does set it down and turn to Midoriya. She does look a bit more concerned. As she says this with a tone of sincerity. Exactly what happened to his father. From what she knows, he's not an Inteku. And, well, on record, your father's dead. Yeah, I never knew my father. That's just the thing. He died the day I was born. What? Really? Well, your birthday is July 15th, and your father died July 22nd. So, I don't really see how that's possible, unless those records were altered. So, fascinating. Now, this is something I want to know. What was your father doing working for the CCG? And is that how he met your mother? No. Stop it. I know what you're doing now. You are good. Ah, fascinating. Usually I'm fast enough to get the information I want. However, this does seem to be a bit more complicated. Okay, first off, I think you're crazy. Second off, exactly what else do you want? Well, from what I know, there's a famous hunter of ghouls. They work for the CCG, or at least as a private contractor for them. They don't really like what he does. However, he's a hunter. He's a butcher. Some might even call him a boogeyman. What I want you to do is find him and kill him. You're kidding me, right? You do realize exactly how complicated that task would be. Besides, if the CCG knows that, yes, I'm quite aware. If the CCG knows that we're killing off private contractors, then they would know that we have a backdoor access into their information, and possibly even their system, meaning that they might be trying to find a mole. Your purpose or your point? Well, point is, they will find out about it and terminate the person inside. Ah, but they won't. Really? Why is that? Because the contractor is held as a hero. Everyone knows who he is. In fact, that's just the other thing. Rumor has it that once he gets done with his ghouls, he does something. And it's a bit weird. Many things are inconsistent, leading me to one possible conclusion. This man is a ghoul himself. And well, funny thing about it. He might be a cannibal. That being where Midoriya pauses. Hearing that phrase, a cannibal. What do you mean? He eats people, specifically other ghouls. And the ramifications for those are bad. So what I want you to do is kill him and take him down, since he might eventually find his way towards us. Find the Yaoyorozu organization and take us down. Besides, I don't know about you, but I'd rather not have a maniac picking my skin out of his teeth. Fair point. So do you even have any idea where I can start searching for this guy then? Well, that is another thing. I have information that actually I do have a better idea. You're gonna have me be doing all of this, yet you want me to supply food for you. Exactly what does that mean? That means exactly what you think. Besides, I will compensate you, and you will be paid handsomely. As Momo reaches underneath the couch and pulls out a stack of cash, tossing at Midoriya as he catches it, in shock about how much this actually is, before she tosses him another one. This is a total of 200,000 yen. That's insane. That's quite a lot of money. So what? This is the bounty you're putting on this guy's head? No, actually. That is for a month's supply of food. And I expect you to deliver. Okay. Well then, I guess I can at least see how many. How many ghouls are we talking? Well, let's see. About, roughly, 182. Are you shitting me? Hmm, is that a problem? Well, kind of. If 182 people go missing, you know what type of stir that would cause? What type of commotion would be brought up? Well, it is your job to figure that out. So, have fun. Now, Midoriya does not listen to her, as, with the file in hand, he does walk over, and he does sit right next to her, as he just starts to open it up and take it apart. To her surprise, she watches what he's doing, as he begins to read, going on to state that she wanted to test herself against him. That is the words you use, right? Well, how about this? As he does hold up a picture, saying that you test yourself against him. Your father hired me for a reason, isn't that right? Or was it you? You hired me just to have me around. You find me interesting. Something you don't know, yet you want to learn more about. Isn't the one thing you know about ghouls is that you can learn a lot by how they fight, by how they're willing to survive, what they can do. So, how about this? You work together with me, and we try and take this man down. In fact, I do know that you have resources and people. Or do you not believe that yourself capable of doing so? That you're a weak class ghoul. Even me, by comparison, might be stronger than you. Her looking at my door. Before she does go on stating that her organization is very well armed, and has connections in more places than you think. Besides, if we are going to take this man down, and actually get involved for the first time in a while, then how about this? I will gather my people, and we will head out, inspect the place, and actually try and track this man down. So, this will be fairly easy. Along with that, you will need to be fitted for an outfit. I'm sorry, an outfit. You heard me. It's gonna be something similar to an experimental armor the CCG have been using. I'm not sure. But it's gonna allow you to at least move better with clothing. It is also going to provide some support on your body. It's also fire resistant, and at least is like, it's better than wearing a shirt, let's just say that. Your Kagune also will be able to come through it, since it's basically just a hole cut in that part of your body. So what do you say? Alright, that does make sense. Besides, you said you also wanted me to fill an order. I know you can easily fill that. You have connections. So, how about you just drop the little test, and we get on to the more serious matters. Besides, 200 yen? Really? This could even be a bigger red flag if you tried. Ah, you are a smart one. Very much so. My mother's been teaching me everything I know since birth. Besides, you try staying indoors till you're almost 5 years old. It's not fun. The world, I knew it already, was different. And it changed a lot. I was only ever allowed outside to go to school. Sometimes not even then. I had to stay inside and go to the doctor a lot. The idea being that my quirk is weird. It's some sort of enhancement ability. Oh, so you are registered. Yes. You do realize how dangerous that is, right? You could just go quirkless. What do you mean? Well, the CCG does look into quirks. Sometimes if a quirk is too odd or suspicious, they will look into it. In fact, a lot of ghouls have been found out through that way, since they want to at least try and use their abilities in their daily life, without fear of, well, being suspected of being a ghoul. Besides, I'm guessing the only way you're getting away with it is because you're son of CCG, the man who died in a car accident. And well, why would you suspect a ghoul hunter to have a half-ghoul son, let alone love one of those creatures? Love one of us monsters, isn't that correct? Well, I do believe that you're at least right. Besides, I do want to know your story. My story isn't important. What's important is that you meet us later. Also, keep the money. You will be compensated for, well, the month. The month? Yes. Isn't this a good amount of money? Do you need more? No, it's just, this is a lot more than I would usually make. Ah, well, just keep it. You will be needing it. Alright. Now, with that being said, Midoriya would head home, explaining to his mother what's going on, what happened, and exactly what he's going to be doing, along with being fitted for a uniform, and Inko also tagging along. Now, with that being said, I do believe that this will be a good point to leave this off of, and I will be having to break up the 2 months into separate parts. So I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.